Okay, with that brief introduction, let me set the stage here. Let's assume that we manufacture widgets. And here's the standard cost card associated with this widget. Direct material, 3.5 yards of material is needed, and we normally pay, and we set the standard at $6. Therefore, there's $21 of material cost in a widget per the standard. Labor-wise, it takes 2 hours to make the product. We pay people on average $18 an hour, so there's $36 of direct labor in the cost of this widget. And we have some variable overhead, and we are allocating that overhead on direct labor hours, so there's 2 hours of direct labor per the standard, but our variable overhead rate is $4, therefore there's $8 of variable overhead. And I've added dimension here. I added a dimension that is not in your book. I added fixed overhead, and fixed overhead is at 2 hours, basically the same. The labor is being the activity base for the calculation of the predetermined overhead rate. So the fixed overhead predetermined overhead rate is $11, so there's $22 in the cost of the product. So overall, the total cost of this product per the standard is $87. Every single time we build one, we're going to move $87 into finished goods. And when we sell one, we're going to charge $87 to COGS. Now I'm going to add one other component to this, and that is I'm going to kind of explain to you in this hypothetical situation. Here was the plan. We were going to make 4,800 units. We estimated our fixed overhead to be $105,600, and we estimated our direct labor hours to make those 4,800. If the standard is 2 hours, it's going to take 9,600 hours. By the way, if you divide that 9,600 hours into the 105,600, you will get the $11 of fixed overhead. I should point out that in my career, we never really separated variable overhead and fixed overhead from the overhead rate. We created one overhead rate that compiled both of them. Why? Because the variable overhead rate was very small. So why have an army and a boy track all that and even track the variances when in fact most of the overhead was fixed? So we just created one overhead rate. And if I were to do that in this problem, I would show that our overhead rate is $15 an hour. Now, next, what did we actually do? Well, the actual variable overhead was 40,950. The actual number of units that we produced was 5,000, so we produced more than we had planned. Our fixed overhead was greater than we had thought. And our direct labor was greater, obviously, because we built 5,000. But we sold 5,000 units. So we sold everything we made, and we sell them for $125. So in doing that, okay, if we did that, the next slide, we would sell 5,000 units at $125. That would sell for a total of $625,000. However, COGS for those 5,000 is the 5,000 units at the standard at $87. At $435,000 would be the total COGS. Therefore, our gross profit is $190,000. But did we really earn and generate $190,000 of gross profit? No, because we have variances. Let's get into that in the next section.